Hey, welcome back everyone. This is Uncle Frank and I am not a financial advisor, nor is any of the content to be construed as financial advice. This channel is for entertainment purposes only. Okay, I know I do a stock market show, but many of my subscribers love cars and so do I. So this is for my fellow enthusiasts. I'm going to cover a couple different articles here, starting with the best new cars coming out in 2025 by Jeff Perez. All right, let's start with the Beamers. On your screen is the BMW M2 CS. BMW is already testing a new M2 CS, which means we could see it as early as this year. The pint-sized performance car will reportedly have 518 horse and remain rear-wheel drive. Thank you very much. Please keep the 6-speed manual. It should also get enhancements like stiffer suspension, better brakes, a stripped-down interior, and lightly revised bodywork. There's no word on how much the M2 CS could cost, but looking at the gulf between the standard M3 and the M3 CS, a price tag of $90,000 for the M2 isn't out of the realm of possibility. The standard M2 starts at $66,000 for 2025. Wow, for you M3 fans, look what they're planning to do to your baby. Whew. As BMW's bread and butter, the 3 Series has exemplified the compact luxury sports sedan for decades now. It's about to undergo a significant transformation, I'll say, which BMW previewed recently with its Vision concept. Not only will the 3 migrate to a new platform, it will also offer an electric variant for the first time, which we expect to be called the i3. We're particularly fond of the concept car's proportions, I'm not sure why, which evoke the golden era of BMW sports sedans in terms of the athletic stance, short overhangs, and subdued surfacing. Yeah, we'll see. There's the 2025 4 Series. I can't remember a time BMW put out this many ugly cars all at the same time, but congratulations if that's what you were going for. The other Beamers are so ugly, I don't even want to cover them, but the Z4 is kind of cool. As a special treat for driving enthusiasts, the 2025 Z4 is now available with a manual transmission. Finally, what do you guys think? Just buy the Supra? All right, now let's do the vets. That's the 2025 on your screen. If you don't know by now, that ZR1 means the ultimate gas-powered performance Corvette. The new C8 ZR1 will certainly convince you. It packs a twin-turbo version of the Z06 flat-plane crank 5.5-liter V8, cranking out an absurd 1,025 horse, and top speed is claimed at 215. The ZR1 will take the Corvette name to new performance heights, and while we don't yet know the price, it will certainly reach new territory in that regard as well. Now, we could see one of these soon. That's the Zora on your screen. Following the debut of the new ZR1, it was clear Chevy had even bigger plans for the Vet. The long-rumored Zora could make its debut next year. It would combine the ZR1's powerful V8 with the E-Ray's 1.1 kilowatt-hour battery for a combined output of at least 1,220 horse and standard all-wheel drive. I don't want one, but some of you may love it. Nothing is definitive, but the Vet's outgoing chief told us we're still working on stuff in the future. If we're lucky, we could see the new Zora in 2025 before it goes on sale in 2026. Chevrolet hasn't even listed a starting price for the new ZR1, but we expect the Zora to cost at least $200,000. There's the new Ferrari F80. It's sold out. The LaFerrari successor uses a turbocharged and hybridized V6 to make 1,184 horsepower. Show of hands, who wants a Ferrari with a V6 and electric assist? Not me, but I guess the ultra-wealthy do. Here's the view from the rear. Beautiful, but is it a future classic? I don't think so. The car will take on the McLaren W1, which was recently unveiled as the replacement for the P1. I could be wrong, but these hybrids will be featured years from now as losing substantial value from original price. I could be wrong, we'll see. On your screen is Ferrari's unnamed hypercar. It's scheduled to debut next year. Early spy photos give us a hint as to its final design, and rumors say it could be the first halo car since the F40 to have fewer than 12 cylinders, right? Only 30 of them, probably over 2 million apiece. For those of you guys in the market for a hypercar on a budget, there's the Lamborghini Rulato, $750,000. It combines a 6.5-liter V12 engine with 3 electric motors for a total of 1,001 horse and a 0 to 60 time of about 2.4 seconds. These are sold out through the middle of 2025. Lamborghini may introduce a performance variant to build excitement. There's Porsche's electric hypercar, estimate $2.8 million. Of course, it is the battery-powered replacement to the 918 Spider and the Carrera GT before it. I ask you guys, why replace amazing? Based on the Mission X concept from last year, the hypercar could have as much as 1,700 horse and be able to hit 60 miles per hour in just about 2 seconds or less. I still don't want one. I don't know if you guys know or care, but the Scout is back, and with an estimated price of only $45,000. If they offered a topless gas version of this thing, I would have already put my order in. Mark your calendars. Scout will show its first SUV and truck concepts on October 24th before the Duo goes on sale late in 2025 or early 2026. These will be the first 2 models from the reborn Scout brand, and they will both be electric. Now, I don't know if any of you were fans of the crime show Animal Kingdom, but I loved it, especially the restored Scout that was featured in the show. VW bought the rights to American utility vehicle brand International Harvester back in 2020 and confirmed plans to revive the Scout Marquis as an all-electric SUV and truck sub-brand starting in 2026. The automaker went as far as to release a teaser sketch of its planned models, 1 SUV and 1 pickup. These are meant to be competitors to the Rivian R1T and R1S, neither of which I care about. Toyota made a new Land Cruiser pickup and a 2-door 2025 4Runner for SEMA. Both off-road focused concepts promote open-air driving with the removal of their roofs and D-pillars. There's Toyota's electric sports car, estimate $65,000. It's beautiful, but I don't want one. Maybe you guys do. The Toyota FTSE concept was a welcome surprise at last year's Japan Mobility Show. The stunning sports car concept offered shades of the MR2 in its design and promised production in just a few years. If we're lucky, we could see a production version of the FT late next year or early 2026. The design shouldn't stray far from the original concept, and the powertrain will be all electric with a motor on each axle for standard all-wheel drive. It's estimated that the sports car will be able to reach 60 miles per hour in less than 3 seconds. Okay, Toyota, that's more like it. The GR GT3 sports car, estimate $80,000. Company plans to offer buyers a road-going version of its upcoming GR GT3 sports car. It's likely to wear a Lexus badge when it arrives in American showrooms, and it could replace the aging RC. Spy videos and patent images have revealed the car to be a long, sleek coupe that's very similar in design to the GR GT3 concept. By the way, guys, rumor has it, V8, 500 horse, 5.2 liter, naturally aspirated. Very exciting. And have you heard? The Prelude is back, baby. After showing a concept car in Tokyo last year, Honda confirmed that a production Prelude is coming soon, of course with a hybrid drivetrain. It looks like what you'd expect a modern-day Prelude to look like, with a sleek 2-door silhouette that's sports car-esque without being quite as low-slung as models like the Toyota GR86 and the Mazda MX-5 Miata. All right, this is what they're planning to do to Godzilla by 2028. I don't know how I feel about it. With a claimed 1,341 horsepower and over-the-top concept car styling, the Nissan Hyperforce appears to be a pie-in-the-sky idea of a future performance sports car. But squint a bit, and this is what the next generation of the Nissan GTR could look like. Electrification is coming to the legendary performance coupe, and the Hyperforce is an indication of what Nissan is hoping to achieve with the next Godzilla. Leave that car alone. Porsche confirmed a few years ago the next 718 Boxster and Cayman would be going full electric by mid-decade. Since then, Road & Track has caught the car testing on the road. The current cars will end production next year, so if you want a gas-powered, mid-engine Porsche sports car in your garage, there's no time like the present. Finally, some good news. For 2025, the Stuttgart-based manufacturer will continue to offer the GT3 in 2 trim levels separated by their emissions. The 2025 911 GT3 will stick to its track-focused roots, while the wingless touring version of the GT3 becomes more usable for drivers who prefer to exercise their cars on the street or perhaps just prefer a less extroverted look. The heart of the GT3, the naturally aspirated 4-liter flat-six engine sending 502 horse, 331 torque to the rear wheels, has received a clean bill of health and is free to run all the way up to the 9,000 RPM for another year. And best of all, the manual transmission is here to stay a bit longer, making the new GT3s the first 992.2 Gen 911s to offer a stick. Many of you may not care about Alfa Romeos. I can't blame you, to be honest, but my first new car was a GTV6, and I've always loved the brand ever since. When I was a kid, tiny race cars like this were everywhere. Fiats, Lancias, MGs, Alfas, Triumphs. It was a really fun era of true sports cars, and it's all gone now. But after a 4-year hiatus, the 4C briefly returns with 3 special cars. They'll be sold by Stellantis Heritage rather than Alfa Romeo. The cars have white bumpers and body-colored wheels. Look, I didn't buy one of these the first time around because there was no manual offered, which shows you younger guys how old I am. Earlier this year, Alfa delivered 5 special 4Cs to celebrate 75 years of a Barth, and now another 3 cars are under construction. This time, the reason for reincarnation is a tribute to former F1 driver and DTM champion Nicola Larini. Stellantis isn't saying anything about mechanical changes, so the 4C will probably stick to the turbocharged 1.75-liter engine. Mounted in the middle, the 4-pot mill sends 237 horsepower and 258 pound-feet of torque to the rear wheels via a dual-clutch 6-speed automatic transmission. As a refresher, the 4C weighed only 2,070 pounds in its lightest configuration. That's for you guys that think it's underpowered. However, the US spec model was substantially heavier because of different crash test standards. You have to admit, that's a cool little tiny Ferrari. These are only renderings for now, but these 3 cars will be built and sold to customers by Stellantis Heritage at an undisclosed price tag so far. So, Uncle Frank, what cars are we losing in 2025? Well, the Quadrifoglio versions of the Giulia and the Stelvio, the only ones worth buying, they're gone. The Audi A4 is gone, along with the Bugatti Chiron, the Chevy Corvette, and what I consider to be one of the best cars in the world, the Ferrari 812 GTS, is gone, along with the SF90 Stradale. The Jaguar F-Type, which is the only Jag worth buying, is disappearing. And a moment of silence, the Nissan GTR. 2 major models are leaving Nissan's lineup at the end of 2024, the Titan pickup truck in the US market and the legendary GTR supercar globally. The latter was introduced in 2007 and is known to automotive fans by its chassis code R35, which differentiates it from the previous generation Skyline GTRs, R32, 33, and 34, while Nissan will likely replace the Titan with a new all-electric truck. A successor to the GTR has not been announced, leaving the nameplate's fate unclear. Hey, I want to thank you for watching, and please remember to hit the like button after this slide if you enjoyed the presentation. Subscribe to the channel and set the alert so you're notified when I have new information to share. See you at the bell.